In this video, I want to discuss a little bit about what to do as a fiddle player when you're not playing the melody. A lot of times we stand there and we look like we don't know what to do. Or we just, obviously enjoy somebody else when they're taking a solo, which is fine, but it's also good to be able to add something backup-wise, especially in bluegrass, other music, country music, and fiddle jams, acoustic progressive fiddle jams. They'll do some really cool stuff, like some chopped stuff. And what I was going to demonstrate was, first of all, what you can do to begin with. And with your music, you'll have chords written on there, little chord symbols like a D, or a G, or an A. And the great thing about Mississippi Sawyer is that you can do a little rhythm thing right off the bat just using open strings, and you don't have to think about fingering. So the first time, or what I'm going to do on part of this, is I'm going to play whole notes, okay, just to get you started. Then I'll stop and I'll show you a couple different other things you can do for backup.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
So that's pretty straight ahead. All I was doing is just playing whole notes over the measures that had D in them. Da 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 to A, to G. It helps to know the chord progression. Back to D, to an A, back to the D. Now we're going to do this again, and this time the technique I'm going to show you is what's called a chop. What a chop is on beats 2 and 4, all you're going to do is just take your bow and set it and kind of bounce it on the string. Okay, just kind of short. You don't want to go, but it's just going to be for one beat, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to whether it's a G you're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4 to D. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to A, back to the D. And some of you have already covered that in your lesson, but a lot of you haven't started doing this yet, so I want to introduce this to you. Okay, so let's try again our Mississippi Sawyer.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Let's try it again. Beats 2 and 4.
1, 2, 3.
1. So that was just a single string. Technique is try to keep it up toward the frog. It gives a little more percussive sound, and you get more control of it, and the attack is a little cleaner. Up here it can bounce if you're not careful, and it's a little harder to manage. Okay, we're going to do it again. This time, what helps as a fiddle player is to know the chords. If you know a D chord, you know that the notes in it are D, F sharp, A. On the A, it's going to be A, C sharp, E, and then on the G, it would be G, B, D. Now, if I use a combination on the D chord, I could go D and A. I could do open D and open A, and that would work. So I could go da da dum da da dum da da dum da 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 da, and I get to the A. I know there's an A, C sharp, and E, I could use open A and open E. Bum, dum, this is a G chord, so it will be open G and open D. G, B, D. So I could use a G and a D. G, back to D. Now the A, back to D. Okay? And what would help too is, you can write a chord chart. The order of the chords in the song, and you can follow along with that. That also helps, other than using my 50-year-old brain. So let's try that technique now.
1, 2, a 1, 2, 3.
You'll notice on one of the A chords, instead of using A and E, I put my first finger down, G1 and D1. So that's where you don't have to play open strings all the time, and you can start using what's called double stops. So if I wanted to, the first one, on the D, I could do an F sharp and an A3. Da-da-dum, 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 da-da, straight across to the G, same finger order, B and a G to D, like this, and then go down a step to C sharp and an E over the A chord. 1, 2, 3, 4 to D again. Back again, da D, da da dum, da da dum, da da, straight across to G, da da dum, da da da, back to D, da da dum, to the A, back up to D. Now, try this. F sharp, first finger on G. Da da dum, dum, dum. Hopefully in tune. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now to the. I'm going second finger, open D, back to the D. To this. Da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. Okay, what I did for the D was a G1, D2, which is an A note on the bottom and an F sharp on the second finger here. Then to the G chord, I did a open D and a B, which is a G string second finger for the G chord. For the A chord, I did two things. You can play a D1, which is an E note, or play a high third finger on the G string, which is a C sharp, over the A chord, because the A chord spell A, C sharp, E. Okay, and then you could use this also, A, which is G1, and a D1, which is an E. Like that, okay? Alright, we're going to do one last time through this, and I'll show you some rhythmic things just that you can try.
1, 2, a 1, 2, 3.